jumping into the second part of chapter 11 of Second Corinthians, we're going to be talking about Paul and the dangers that he faced, a little bit about Paul's journey. Why is Paul going into all this? What's the point? Well, there's a minority that's rebellious, that's trying to steer the Corinthians away from the true God. And Paul is coming in saying, beware, beware. You know, they're boasting in the flesh and I'm boasting in the spirit, because I want to point you to the Lord. And so he's concerned. And so that's where we are right now in the scriptures of Second Corinthians. Okay, so I'm going to pick it up at verse 16 and I'm going to read it to you. So this is Paul going into his suffering as an apostle. So he's doing that because he wants to make a point, to show the Corinthian church that, you know, these opponents are not to be followed, that he should be followed. And he gets into a little bit of his journey with the Lord and what that looks like. Okay, I repeat, let no one think of me foolish, but even if you do, accept me as a fool, so that I too may boast a little. What I am saying with this boastful confidence, I say not as the Lord would, but as a fool. Since many boast according to the flesh, I will boast. So he's talking about his opponents here, that they're boasting in the flesh. If you gladly bear with fools, being wise yourself, for you bear it if someone makes slaves of you or devours you or takes advantage of you or puts airs on or strikes you in the face, to my shame I must say, we too were weak for that. We were too weak for that. But whatever anyone else dares to boast of, I am speaking as a fool. I also dare to boast of that. Are we Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they offspring of Abraham? So am I. Are they servants of Christ? I am a better one. I'm talking like a madman, with far greater labors, far more imprisonments, with countless beatings, and often near death. 5 times I received at the hands of the Jews 41 lashes less one. 3 times I was beaten with rods. Once I was stoned. 3 times I was shipwrecked. A night and a day I was adrift at sea on frequent journeys, in danger from rivers, dangers from robbers, dangers from my own people, dangers from the Gentiles, dangers in the city, dangers in the wilderness, danger at sea, danger from false brothers, in toil and hardship, through many a sleepless night, and hunger and thirst without food, in cold and exposure. Apart from other things, there's a daily pressure on me and for my anxiety for all the churches. Who is weak? And I am not weak. Who is made to fall? And I am not indignant. If I must boast, I will boast of the things that show my weakness. The Lord and Father of the Lord Jesus, who is blessed forever, knows that I'm not lying. At Damascus, the governor under King Aretas was guarding the city of Damascus in order to seize me, but I was let down in a basket through a window in the wall and escaped his hands. Okay, so that's the end of the chapter. So that Damascus story right at the end, that's in, if you want to read that full story, that's in Acts 9:23. They talk about it. The 3 times beaten with rods, that's the Gentile punishment for disturbing the peace. So we just have a lot of, so he's just giving Paul's just giving his qualifications to the New Covenant people. His story is intense. He's talking about his pedigree, his sufferings, and that God gives him the grace and the power in order to triumph despite Paul's own weaknesses. So it's pointing to the Lord. Everything that Paul is saying here is just this concern about this minority that's coming in and maybe disrupting what's going on here at the Corinthian church. I hope this encourages you. Tomorrow we'll jump into 2 Corinthians 12, and then we have chapter 12, and then we have chapter 13, and that's it. And we'll go to the next book of the Bible. Have a great day, and I'm encouraged that you're watching.